Right, okay, recording a live session. I think one of the secrets of a successful session is just the preparation that you've done beforehand. You do your best to think in advance of things like tempos, structures, a balance to make sure that by the end of the session everyone has been acknowledged and you've got the best out of everyone there that you've hired. Special considerations when you're recording as opposed to playing live. I've spent so much of my career playing on stages around the world, and if you're playing and you're letting the spirit free, quite often you'll move around quite a lot. You'll look over at your fellow musicians, you'll look at the audience, there'll be lots of movement. Now if you're in a studio and the microphone is there, obviously if you move around, the microphone picks up all kinds of, it gets a very sort of uncentered, unfocused result. So you don't have an audience, your audience really is the microphone. How far are you from it? What's the best sound that you're going to create? Sometimes just moving inches away from the mic changes the sound and the intimacy and detail in that sound quite a lot. And you may find that you do 3 different takes and you have to pick one, or perhaps you pick various slices of one and then splice it together with another, so you end up with a composite version, and altogether that message is going to be the strongest, clearest message designed for repeated listening. Jazz musicians love to really play and open out and play quite a lot, and one of the challenges that I sometimes face and other jazz musicians is just to keep it really simple. Serve the editor, serve the director, serve the producer. All of those things require a switch in the mind, because if you've just come off from being on tour, etc., you're suddenly in the confines of the studio, you're under the microscope at every point. It's also great fun, but in just a very different way. The amount of things you can do on a laptop is extraordinary. One of the dangers, I think, is all the software and the laptops, etc. It makes you feel, if you're not careful, as if you can do everything on your own. I have 2 sides to my own career which are both very strong, I suppose. One is playing and one is writing, and when people ask me which do you prefer, I think, well, it's rather like my 2 arms, you know. Which arm do you prefer? I'd rather keep them both. What makes great music for me is the feeling of authenticity. So when you have the type of music which is allowing musicians freedom to be themselves,